morning, everyone. Namaste. Just waiting to see if there are any new joinees. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We'll continue today's class. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and for us, it's morning. Let's take a moment to arrive. Soften your gaze, gently close your eyes. Take a deep inhale, filling up your chest and your belly, and a deep exhale, relieving all the tension and the stress. Our usual disclaimer: when you attend the session today, you do so with a complete understanding that you're responsible for your own well-being. Neither those leading the session nor our organization takes responsibility for the outcome of your participation in this program. So please exercise caution. Do follow the thumb rule of yoga, which is there can be no strain or whatsoever in whatever you do. Everything should be done with such ease and comfort, whereby there can be meditative awareness. Observe your breath and making sure that is always smooth and long will avoid any strain. Please engage in every practice to an extent that feels comfortable to you. Some of my breaths would be longer, so please listen to your body and go with the flow. We want this to be experiential. Before we begin, let's establish the group consciousness. And we do that by visualizing everybody in this group today is within you. With that, let's begin with the first of 3 Ohms. Now let's begin the chakra vibration. Bring your awareness to the perineum area. As you squeeze your perineum, let's make the sound LUM by pressing the little finger with the thumb. Please make sure your hands and palms are aligned. Let's begin with a deep inhale. LUM. 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 Release your hands. Continue. Lam. 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 Now, bring your awareness an inch or above the perineum area, the pubic zone, as you draw from front to back. Here, we do the sound VUM by pressing the ring finger with the thumb. Please ensure your hands and palms are aligned towards the area. Let's begin with a deep inhale. VUM. 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 Release your hands. Continue. VUM. 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 Last time. VUM. Now, bring your awareness to the belly area in the middle of the body. Here, we do the sound rum by pressing the middle finger with the thumb. Let's begin with a deep inhale. Rum. 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 Release your hands. Continue. Ram. 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 Last time. Ram. Now, bring your awareness in between the chest area in the middle of the body. Here, we do the sound yum by pressing the forefinger with the thumb. Let's begin with a deep inhale. Yum. 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 Release your hands. Continue. Yum. 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 Last time. Yum. Now, bring your awareness to the throat area in the middle of the body. Here, we do the sound hum with thumbs up, close fist. Hum. 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 Release your hands. Continue. Hmm. Last time. Now, bring your awareness to the middle of the forehead area. Here, we do the sound sham with thumbs up, loose fist. Let's begin with a deep inhale. Sham. 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 Release your hands. Continue. Sham. 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 Last time. Ksham. Now, bring your awareness to the top of the middle of the head. Here, we do the sound O with thumbs up, close fist. Release your hands. Continue. Om. Last time. Om. One more time, please. Om. Notice a sense of calmness and stillness within you and a flow of energy along the column of the spine. Now let's move on to Ujjayi Pranayama or happy face breathing. For those of you who know, please continue. Otherwise, make a big smile with cheeks out. And as you smile, you'll feel a stretch at the bottommost part of the mouth area, which is the throat area. And here, as you inhale and exhale, you'll feel a mild sucking sensation. Feel the sensation and take a few couple of breaths. Let's take 5 to 10 breaths. Please continue to do Ujjayi. And while you do Ujjayi, we'll move on to shoulder rotation. Place your palms on your knees. And as you inhale, lift up your shoulders. Slide your palms. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders and bring your palms back on the knee area. Let's continue rotating. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now bring your hands in Namaste position near the chest area. And as you inhale, you open up your palms and stretch your hands as wide as you can. And as you exhale, you bring it back in Namaste position. Let's continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Hold on to your Namaste position near the chest area. Now, as you inhale, you reach your arms and palms all the way to the sky or the roof. And as you exhale, you bring it down back to the Namaste position near the chest area. Let's continue. If possible, try to touch your arms with the ears. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Make a fist, bend at the wrist. And as you inhale, you open up your palms and fingers as if a flower is budding. And as you exhale, you make a fist back again, bring it near the chest area. Let's continue. Inhale, exhale. Now let's reverse the direction. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now interlock your fingers with knuckles facing up or the roof. Bring it behind your head like this. Now as you exhale, you turn towards one side of the shoulder. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, turn towards the other side of the shoulder. Inhale back to the center. And let's continue. Last exhalation and last inhalation. Now grab your elbows behind. Now as you exhale, you pull towards one side of the shoulder. Then as you inhale, you're back to the center. Exhale, pull towards the other side of the shoulder. Inhale, back to the center. Let's continue. Please exercise caution. This exercise is a good candidate for injury. This will loosen up your shoulder blades, and if you feel tightness on one side, try to stretch the opposite side for longer, little longer. Now last exhalation, last inhalation. Let's move on to the neck exercises. Now, as you exhale, gently tilt your head towards one side of the shoulder as if the ear is trying to reach the shoulder. And as you inhale, you're back to the center. Exhale, try reaching the other side of the shoulder. Inhale, back to the center. Let's continue. Last exhalation. And last inhalation. Let's move on to the head turn. As you exhale, turn your head towards one side of the shoulder. And as you inhale, you're back to the center. Turn towards the other side of the shoulder. Inhale and back to the center. Let's continue. As usual, if you feel stretch at certain point, hold on to it for a little longer. Let's do the last exhale and the last inhale. Now pull back your head all the way back as you inhale, and as you exhale, bring your chin to the chest area. Now let's do it again. Pull your head all the way back as you inhale, and as you exhale, Bring your chin to the chest area. And from here, as you inhale, you make half a degree turn, 180-degree turn. And then as you exhale, you complete 360-degree turn. Let's continue in one direction. Now, let's reverse the direction. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's move to the spinal twist. We clasp our left palm over our right knee, and as we turn back, we hold on to the chair using our right hand. And as we exhale, we make the sound one time, the first time, and then the second time, two times, and then three times the third time. Now let's begin with towards the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest area. Now let's move on to the second round with 2 R's and 2 arms. To the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Now let's move to the third round with 3 R's and 3 arms to the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Now let's do 3 rounds of Omkara. Soften your gaze, gently close your eyes. Let's begin the Omkaras. Now, let's move on to the standing exercises. If you have a good balance, please go ahead and stand. Otherwise, please continue to be seated. Now, place your palms on your hip area. Now, as you inhale, you push towards one side of the arm. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, push towards the other side of the arm. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale and inhale. Last exhalation and last inhalation. Now let's do the forward bend. And the way we do it is we'll pull all the way back, making a complete backward arch, and then we'll bend forward, and then we'll try to reach the floor. And then as a last step, we'll try grabbing our knees and drop our head in between and pull back ourselves. Now let's do this with the breath work. Clasp your hands behind like this. And as you inhale, you make a complete backward arch with chin up. Feel the stretch from the bottommost part of the feet to the neck and head area. And stay here for a couple of breaths. Now, as you exhale, you push forward little by little, keeping your back and neck straight. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Now, with the next exhale, bring your hand towards the floor or try to reach the floor, touch the floor if you can. Now, with the next exhale, drop your head in between and pull back up. Let's take our seats. Let's begin our alternate nostril breathing. Please continue if you know how to do it. Otherwise, imagine there's a flow of awareness from the left nostril as you breathe in. It reaches to the top of the middle of the forehead. As you inhale and as you exhale towards the right nostril, it descends. And again through the right nostril, as you inhale, it reaches to the top of the middle of the forehead. And then as you exhale, it descends from the left nostril. Feel comfortable to use any fingers that you would like to. Last inhalation. Last exhalation. Now, soften your gaze, gently close your eyes. Make sure you're seated comfortably. Let's move on to spinal mantra. I'll be playing spinal mantra in the background. You need not repeat the mantra. Visually view the flow that is in the mantra or the instructions provided in the mantra and stay in the meditative state.
We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, Jim. Aim, Shim, Jim. I'm Shim 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jaim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jaim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jam Haim I'm 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 Om. I'm shim jim jam 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 I'm om.
Now, let's move on to 3 rounds of Pastrika. Pull back your shoulders for the first round. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Bahi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Mm. Let's move on to the second round. Pull back your shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Kumbhaka, followed by Brahmari. Let's move on to the third round. Pull back your shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Let's move on to meditation. Sit comfortably with your back rested on the chair. Soften your gaze. Gently close your eyes and observe within. Mentally affirm, I let go of all the concepts and ideas. I care about nothing. I let go of everything. Keep your palms open. If you have a preferred method of meditation, please go ahead and continue. Otherwise, visualize flow of energy from the bottommost part of the spine all the way to the top of the head and over the head. And as you visualize this flow, mentally affirm 3 syllables: I am Om. I am Om. Now, as you visualize this flow and the mantra, I'll be playing Om in the background. If you feel the music as distraction, please reduce the volume. Otherwise, continue to listen. Mentally affirm, may I please be guided for the purpose of life on this earth. Slowly bring back your senses part by part, the head, to your arms, upper body, abdominal area, to your legs and your feet. Gently rub your palms together and place the warmth on your eyelids and slowly bring your palms in front of you and be grateful for everything you have. Namaste.
Namaste. Today being Sunday, if there are any questions, anything for discussion, I'm available. So please feel free to unmute and speak up.
Namaste, doctor. No, actually, a couple of days back, you were mentioning about this importance of being in Swadharma. So, like for youngsters, I would like to know, like, how to make them identify, like, what is their Swadharma and what way can they.
Okay. See, what happens is there is a systematic way in the Vedic system that this is planned as part of the Vedic system. Okay. So the thing is, between the around the age till the age of like around 7, children should be whatever they want. The only thing is the parents should not put any stress on them. Okay. Too much regimentation and things can, like if the spouses are fighting with each other, yelling at each other or whatever, if the child is observing that, that is not a good thing for the child. So between the age of till around the age of 7, the child is in observation mode and taking in everything. And so you don't want it to take in anything that is unwanted. In fact, what it is this really starts from the period of pregnancy itself. Okay. Then between the age of 7 to puberty, around the age of 12, 13, is a very interesting period. This is the period where the nadis have all found its place, the chakras have found its place. Before the age of 7, if you look at who are people who have the ability to sense, people who are Reiki healer, pranic healer, you can sense in your hand. If you go and check a newborn baby, you'll only feel one chakra in the Atma chakra, right in the lowermost part of the sternum. Then slowly it starts spreading out. And by the age of 3 months, 6 months, you will find the chakras all coming out, but they have not reached their place. They are all this thing. And they fully reach their place. Actually, around the age of 3, you will find they have almost reached their place, but they have not yet reached the place. They are very close. So somewhere between the age of 5 to 7, they reach their place. Once the nadis are fully formed, the thing is, you see, the primary level earlier on, the energy is focused on only growing the body. Then from the age of around 7 till 13, while growing the body is there to some part, another part of the work that is happening is connecting with its spiritual karmas and kleshas, the person who that real person is. And during that period, from around 7 to around 13, what happens is, you should teach the child to have inner awareness. And that is the reason in the Vedic system, around the age of 7, you give them the punal and sacred thread and you ask them to do their mantra javam, their meditation with Gayatri mantra. Unfortunately, in modern day period, what is the purpose, value, how to do it right, all of that has been lost. So the thing is, when people do it ritually and they don't pay attention to what is happening, it doesn't have any effect. The most important element in the mantra japa is invocation of Gayatri, Savitri, and Saraswati. And we have done this before, right? So the thing is, you see, with that invocation, if the child has to also understand the meaning of the Gayatri mantra, why it is you're doing, then what happens is between the age of 7 to 13, the child very harmoniously gets connected into its karmas and kleshas. Around the age of 12, 13 at puberty, it is fully connected. In fact, puberty indicates the body's essential growth elements are done, and any little growth that is left after the age of 13 is only incremental and slowly happening. Okay, but from there on, from the age of 13 or so, the child is really coming into what we call as the true meaning of grahastha ashrama. You see, what happens is commonly you think of grahastha ashrama as the state where of a householder getting married and things, but that's not the functional element. The functional element is coming under the grasp of your grahas. That is what the grahastha ashrama is. So you fully come under the grasp of your grahas after around the age of 13. And so the thing is basically, of course, at that time you're also seeking to know. So there is the brahmacharya element too. Brahmacharya means seeking to know what all of existence is about. So the thing is, in that stage, it becomes even more important that the child stays with the meditative connectiveness of what one's purpose, who the person is, and all of that. In all of these stages, the things to be avoided by the surroundings, the parents, and everywhere else is unwanted stresses for the child, and keeping trying to build a harmonious life around the child. And once the child becomes fully connected over there and there is harmony in the child will know what to do. In fact, what it is the last thing parents should do is force them to say, you should do this, you should do that. You see, that is around the age of 15 is when children need to make their choices, what they are going to study as they are going forward and things. And the trouble that happens is children should recognize within as opposed to influence from unnecessary quarters, 3 or 4 unnecessary quarters. Parents should not force, and teachers should not push, and the surrounding children environment should not push. And these days, it is not the friends who do it as much as this internet and TV and all the things that are hitting you. So what happens is you cannot escape those. They will all be there. Parents will say what they have to say. But the thing is, basically, it has to be put in such a way where that children understand, parents make it clear to the children, I'm giving you a suggestion, but you do what you want. Right? So when that goes that way, then the children will blossom on them. See, the thing is, you see, I'll give you one example over here. Uh, there is somebody else who has been talking to me for the last 1 month about a child that is 14 years old that is not listening to the parents or whatever. And one of the interesting thing is, once I made it clear that parents don't push, let the child, express oneself. And what happens is there were a number of things that were coming in over there. Manjula, I will mute you so that the feedback won't come. That's fine. So the number of things that were happening for the situation was parent is telling the child, this is what you should do, you should not do this, and things like that. And at the same time, the other side of it is the child is fond of lot of sweet things, and the parents want to cut out all sugar. Okay. And in fact, what people don't realize is sugar is brain food. What happens is the brain can only take sugar and oxygen. Muscle tissues can take protein. But the thing is also what happens is if you become stressed, the brain has more work to do. And people who are stressed will crave for more sugar. And so the thing is, you see, sugar is not the problem, it is the stress which is the problem, and lack of awareness with it. And so you see, when people look at the world as, oh, sugar is bad and things like that. So I basically ended up saying, it is not, sugar is not bad, but you should avoid white sugar, the highly processed sugar. You can have jaggery, you can have sugar from fruit and things like that, sweet things, that's all fine. And I told the child, and the child was so happy, the child can also have ice cream. And so the thing is, you see, the child is fonder, and every time parents are curtailing. Now, what is also happening is, when the stress builds in the child wants more sugar, right? And so the thing is, our job is to bring down the stress and teach the child not to have stress. Now, what happened was recently the child had an exam the next day, but the child kept up a little late playing with some of her friends. Okay, and so the mother asked the child, "Did you do a responsible thing? Should you have done that?" And actually, what it is the child agreed, and the child compensated the next day to do this thing. So what happens is this kind of what you would call logical reasoning with the child, and telling the child, you do what you want, but you understand the perspective, right? And in many cases, you see, what happens is when parents get very busy, they don't have enough time for the child. When they don't have enough time for the child, that's a different problem altogether, because there's nobody to give guidance over there. Like at least in the Western world, and in wherever there is affluence, children have their own room for themselves, right? So when they have their own room for themselves, the thing is, at the same time, children are part of the family. So what happens is, when parents tell the child, you are also part of this whole family, like each one of us are, and each one of us are doing some part for the sake of everybody in the family. So what part would you like to do? You have to ask the child, what part would you like to do that helps with everyone in the family? And the key part is, asking the question is more important than forcing the child to say, you have to do this or you have to do that. And the child will come intuitively with a response. And that keeps the child in harmony, but it also teaches responsibility for the child.
Doctor, to add, as a parent, it's also our responsibility to see the trigger points whenever they are stressed, and be open for a conversation, which most of the parents don't do. They don't identify. They're not sensitive enough to identify. Okay, there is the student has gone through, or the kid has gone through a bad day, and we need to openly talk. Once they talk through, the stress is gone. They've opened up, and slowly they'll be able to identify the trigger points.
See, the tone of the parents is very important over here. If all the time we are telling, like in a commanding voice, that doesn't help. If you have to be receptive, soft voice, in a way, you're being respectful to the child as an independent person.
Yes.
That's the way.
True, I agree.
Thank you.
Correct. Actually, in little while we have the CYI seminar. So Manjula, are you attending that?
Yes, doctor, I'm attending.
You have the link to it for it, right?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
nice. So what it is today it is about ADHD and cognitive disorders or something like
Oh,
that.
interesting.
Okay, and the thing is, it's all about whenever you're in this ADHD and this kind of a disorder kind of thing, the problem is always a result of stressful reaction that results in that. In fact, what it is almost, I would say, 90% of you see in the modern world when disorders are called mental disorders and things like that, there is a very big gap between what is truly mental, what is the nerve response. So there is a gray area in many of these things. But one of the things that they have already found out is if you are stressed, just like your stress hormones will kick up, there are specific hormones that will kick up for specific kinds of stress. And so, for all these disorders like ADHD, for depression, for anxiety, everyone they have found out what is the biochemical that changes in the body, and they have found an external biochemical to neutralize that. Right? And when they have done this, in the long run, it actually ends up hurting the person because the person is unable to get out of that syndrome. And the thing is, you see, uh, in 1950s they found the first drug called thoraline, and that drug was the drug that was an antipsychotic drug. That means people who have hallucination, people who have this schizophrenia. So for this thing, and then on they started looking at every biochemical and lot of these this thing. And these days for ADHD they give this something called Adderall. And all of these things, generally, if you can get the person to work on themselves. In fact, meditation cures ADHD. And so we will hopefully have one person who, going back how many years back, almost like 18 16 or 18 years back, he was a student in Maryland. And this person was doing very badly. He was in the computer science program, PhD program. He was not doing very well, and he was diagnosed with ADHD. So the doctor there told him, it was either a psychiatrist or a psychologist, I don't know who it is. They told him, we can give you medication, but if you can find some kind of meditation practice which you may be able to get over it. The person didn't tell me this. In those days, we used to have this session in the temple over there, which is very close to University of Maryland. So he started coming to one session, and he told me he wants to learn meditation. So fine, I gave him the mantra japa. He started doing it, and in about 6 months, he was fully overcome. And only after about a year, he told me he had been diagnosed with ADHD, and the doctor had said you should do meditation or go into medication. And he ended up finishing his PhD very well. His studies, everything went well, and he went to work for Google. And so hopefully that fellow will be in the seminar today to give you a story. So this thing.
Nice. Looking forward to it, doctor.
Anything else? Okay, so we'll close over here. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Our other meeting begins in 12 minutes.